all right, I know a lot of my, well, do we call them fans? A lot of the people in this community who like to listen to me, they know that I tend to stay out of drama. I try to. But this commenter wanted to write a book in my comments, so I figured, let's make it a fucking movie, okay? They apparently didn't like my review of AOTNR, the manga, right? They apparently did not like my review, and they wrote me eight reasons why they didn't like it. Why they didn't like my review. Because they found parts of AOTNR to be shitty. So let's just go through them, shall we? Let's see what was so important that you felt it was necessary to write a book in my fucking comments about my opinion about a fan work. Let's go through them. Let's do it. So his first gripe with AOTNR is the fact that it quote makes Eren one-dimensional. I am so sorry. What is one-dimensional about? Okay, take the story for what it is following the manga, following what Isayama did, take out the last 3 chapters, and follow the story from chapter 1 by Isayama, all the way up to 136 by Isayama, all the way up to these last 4 chapters from AOTNR. There is nothing one-dimensional about this character. There is nothing one-dimensional about him at all. We've seen him cry, in preparation for what he knew he had to do to save his people. We've seen him have those breakdowns. We've seen him feel regret and remorse. But he's at this point saying, yeah, I mean, it fucking sucks, but I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to let my people die. So he's deciding to take a stand about it. I don't know what makes that one-dimensional. Follow the rest of the fucking story, the 136 chapters that build him up to the man we see in AOTNR, and there you have it. There is nothing one-dimensional about it. Oh, you don't like the fact that he isn't, crying, kissing up to his friends? Now, I will give this commenter credit that they said that they agree that the original ending is shit too. So, you're good there. I wonder what this person would think Eren's, character should have ended up doing. What do you think he should have done then? What wouldn't make him one-dimensional? I seriously doubt there is anything more one-dimensional than a character saying, hey, I'm just a fucking idiot. I don't know what the fuck I was doing this whole time. No, I'm just dumb and I just got too much power. That is the most 1D garbage bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Really? A facade? Really? That is I'm just a fucking bad guy. I'm just crazy. I lost my mind. That is one-dimensional. That is bullshit. That is garbage. So if you want to hate on something, you can hate on the original work for making Eren 1D and undoing all of his character progression that you and me both saw him work up to. This was 2 seasons in the making. This was all seasons in the making, but season 3 we saw Eren punch the wimp or whatever out of himself. We watched him punch the crybaby who couldn't get shit done out of himself and get his will to live back from his mother's posthumous words. We saw him become this character. We saw him go into Marley and just try and see all of this shit, see if anything could be done. We saw him ask Hanji, can anything be done? No. So he was a fucking cornered rat, and he decided to go with the choice that would make his innocent fucking people live. Period. What is one-dimensional about that? Now, this second gripe, I guess, depends on the person. He says, Kid Eren enjoying the rumbling ruins his character because it shows he's just a one-dimensional psychopath. The reason we audience sympathize with Eren's decisions is because of the trauma he's been through, but Kid Eren hasn't been through any of it, which makes it impossible to side with him. Now, to this one, I say I view him above the clouds as more of he's getting a taste of what freedom feels like, right? He doesn't in that moment, he doesn't understand that the rumbling's occurring. He just feels the encroaching freedom. Freedom is, I can feel it. It's almost here. He's not physically riding above the rumbling. That's the way I interpret it. Everyone else can have their own interpretations. This, I will not argue to, till the death, because that's up to audience interpretation. My interpretation is he was in the clouds getting this feeling of freedom, and he didn't understand what it meant, how it was achieved, how it got there, because he's a kid, because he's innocent. He is not at the same time of the rumbling, like riding a rainbow, riding a cloud above the actual literal rumbling. It's a metaphor for him feeling the encroaching freedom. He doesn't know how, he doesn't know why, he doesn't get it. He just feels, wow, like this is what freedom feels like. I feel it's coming. I feel it near. That was my interpretation. I'm not going to fight to like die on any hill with that, because I don't know. You really would have to ask Isayama what exactly that meant, I guess. Okay, number 3. If Mikasa doesn't kill Eren, then her character will be ruined, because it would mean that she remained the same from the start to the end of the show. Mind you, it's impossible to kill Eren without him wanting it, because as you said in the vid, he's a god. But this fan project has taken away this reason for wanting to or allow himself to be killed, because he has no greater plan for his friends, like making them the savior of humanity, which the original ending did, and made it make sense why Eren didn't go as hard as he could have. All right. Let's get started on this. So in stories, there are characters that the world around them change and they remain static. And then there's shows, movies where the character changes to adapt to the static world, right? So at first, we're to believe that Eren is one of these characters who is just static, right? Like the world changes around him, he remains the same, which for the most part is true, right? Like he has this desire for freedom, which AOTNR makes it clear that it's implanted in him by his adult self, right? Because it's not the typical thing you see in children where, you know, they're killing 2 kidnappers because they believe in freedom over all things, over all else, right? Like, if you encroach on my freedom, I'll kill you. I won't hesitate, right? That is not a normal child thought. So AOTNR fixes that by having the memories of adult Eren, well, the feelings of adult Eren implanted in child Eren when he's asleep under the tree in the very beginning of the show. That makes everything make sense. That makes Eren's quote, quote, edgy, quote, quote, psychopathic behavior as a child makes sense. He has this adult feeling inside of him from the future, right? I desire freedom. I deserve freedom. All of this stuff drives him. It drives him to join the Survey Corps. It drives him to kill Mikasa's kidnappers. It drives him. These adult feelings that are implanted in him by this leaf, right? In AOTNR. This is something Isayama failed to do or did very poorly because it wasn't 100% clear, right? Why Eren had such adult thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Same with Mikasa. Anyway, this comment's about Mikasa, so let's go back to Mikasa. Mikasa is also like a static character at first, but she has her moment where she gets her character development when she realizes she's been viewing Eren through rose-colored glasses. She's like, if Eren's always been this person, what version of him have I been seeing? And so she realized, holy shit, this is who Eren's always been. And so it's up to her to either choose to ride with him or to go against him. And even now, in canon, we don't have an answer for what ultimately made her choose to go against him. Him hugging her, him telling her to forget about her. Why does that make her suddenly get the gall to fucking kill him? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. No, I won't forget you. I'm just gonna kill you and remember you forever. That doesn't make any sense. I'm so sorry. It doesn't. Like, it really doesn't. And so we're told, like, we're clued to believe that the Acker bond maybe isn't real, but we have evidence of the contrary. Say it's real, say it's not real. Say she's obsessed, say she's devoted, whatever you want to say, Mikasa should not have tried to kill Eren. I'm so sorry. When she was given that choice, all of humanity or Eren, I'm sorry, in my opinion, we don't have anything in the series to facilitate the fact that she would choose someone over Eren. We don't have anything in the series to facilitate that decision. Oh, but remember when she, did this? Remember when she went straight to help Historia rather than unlock Eren in season 3? Okay, sure, but that doesn't mean she would leave her most cherished love to fucking die. Like, that doesn't mean she would kill him either. And so we really needed to see her separate herself from Eren. We needed to see her have a moment where she was like, you know what? I'm more than my connection to Eren. I'm a princess in fucking Hizuru. Like, I have family over there. I can make family over there. Like, anything, She neglects Hizuru. She rejects them, and she's like, no, I'm fucking with my Paradisians. I'm fucking with Eren. Come back, Eren. We will share the burdens of this genocide with you. Come back. Why the fuck did she kill him? Because some cabin timeline shit that's not even explained in canon? No, Mikasa is a static character. Mikasa is a static character. And if she wasn't supposed to be, Isayama failed. So no, it doesn't ruin her character that she's, devoted to Eren. That's what her character is. Devotion to Eren. That's what it is. No, it doesn't ruin her character at all, in my opinion. It just means that she's a static character. Now, what does ruin her character for me is Isayama thought he could have his cake and eat it too by making her choose her friends or Paradisians over Eren, but then still making her remember him until her last day, being buried in the scarf, blah, 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 blah. It's like, if she was that trapped by her devotion to Eren that she has to die in his scarf, then she would not have killed him. Then Isayama forced her to kill him for the plot. And that was not in her character to do. Those are my thoughts on that. Argue with your mom. I don't care. That's my opinion. That's my stance, and I'm standing on it. I don't care. 10 toes down. 4. If Levi doesn't kill Zeke, then his promise to Erwin doesn't come true, ruining both their characters in one fell swoop. This, I will not argue with. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, oh no, he didn't fulfill his last promise to Erwin. Who else didn't fulfill their promise? Fucking Mikasa. She promised to keep Eren safe. Remember that? Remember when Mikasa told Eren's mom that she'd fucking protect Eren and keep him safe? Remember that? Oh, she killed him, right? In canon, she killed him. She didn't fulfill her promise. That ruins her character, right? No, shut the fuck up. There is a cruel irony to, promises that are made in media, right? You promise nothing bad will happen if we do this. Yeah, I promise. And then boom, the worst fucking thing happens. That's dramatic irony. Maybe not dramatic irony. I forgot what. Dramatic irony is when the audience knows something that the characters don't. So that's just plain flat out irony. That's set up and foreshadowing. Hey, promise no one gets hurt. I promise. Boom, someone dies, right? That's I don't know. That's a normal fucking thing that authors do. So if Levi didn't get to kill Zeke, then it would just make it that much more sad for him. Let's say Levi dies, right? That would make his death even more of a gut punch. Holy shit, he couldn't do Erwin's last order. He spent years doing order after order after order after order for Erwin, and his last request, his dying wish, he couldn't even do. That would make all the bitches cry in the theater. That would make all the bitches cry. Oh my God, he just wanted to fulfill his last wish. That's good writing. That's flipping shit on its head. That's good fucking, that's a twist right there. That's a fucking twist. That's good. That would be good writing. Erwin's character is fine. He's dead. So Levi not being able to fulfill Erwin's last request would have no impact on Erwin at all. Okay? Historia betraying Emir Mikasa by having Eren's baby when she doesn't like that he is doing the rumbling killed her character too. I'm just so tired of this shit. There is no betraying Ymir. Ymir is dead. Okay? That's just like saying, like, someone can't get a second wife. Like Joe Biden. He betrayed his wife who died tragically in a car crash by marrying someone else. As if his, like, wife would have wanted him to be miserable for the rest of his life. Come on now. Stop. Anyway, Historia having a baby with Eren would do more for her character than the canon, her having a baby with a fucking guy who used to bully her, a random nameless character who used to bully her. That makes a lot less sense and ruins her character a lot more than it being Eren's baby. So Historia is a character who historically has accepted roles and put on this Krista persona that Eren and Ymir were the only two people who were like, hey bitch, stop the act. Be yourself. Be true to yourself. Like, Isayama does a really good fucking job at paralleling the two relationships even. He does a really good job at making their relationships very similar. They both want Historia to live true to who she is. Eren says he likes something about Historia now. Right? Like, now that she's her true self. And he's maybe one of the first people to say that to her. Maybe Ymir was the first, but Eren's the second person to say that to her. Now, does it make more sense for her to have a baby with a farmer who used to throw rocks at her fucking skull? Or a guy who came to understand her and wanted to protect her more than anything? More than anyone? She's the only girl he kept out of the rumbling. She asked him if she should have a child. If anything, that fucking ruined her character, right? But no, it didn't. Because it makes sense for her to ask him, because that's her closest friend, left alive. And, friends become lovers. Or they don't even have to be lovers. Friends, if it's political or if it's, to save Historia's life, friends can have a baby together. Period. That's a whole lot better for Historia's character who, has accepted roles and let shit be pushed on her, finally taking her own destiny into her own fucking hands, asking her dear and only fucking friend for advice, confiding in him as he confided in her, and them deciding to have a kid. Okay? Okay, number 6. Eren being the father of Historia's child when he doesn't have long to live ruins his character because it takes away the guilt he felt for killing the world, which might be fine. Seems as how AOTNR did away with this guilt and made him a one-dimensional character. So, what I assume this paragraph means, because there were quite a few typos or something, I don't know, is that Eren having a baby somehow erases his guilt for killing the rest of the world. I would argue the exact opposite. Not just in AOTNR, but just the principal fact of, just being born when everyone else in the world wants you to die is an act of defiance. Having a kid when everyone else in the world wants your race to die out is an act of defiance. It's the highest form of freedom. You want me to die? All of you, millions of people want me to die and have sat idly by doing nothing while my people have been genocided for years. Like, let's call it what it is. Slow genocide, yeah, sure, but genocide nonetheless. I'm going to live in defiance of that. And I'm going to have a baby in defiance of that. Like, I'm so sorry, it does not get more Eren than that. From season 1 to right now, it does not get more Eren than that. Come on now. And something I need to touch on really quick is the reason why Eren is a static but not static character. Like, he's kind of both. not one-dimensional, okay? But he's static yet not static is because the fact that his feelings from his adult self are implanted into his child body. Not the memories. The memories are unlocked when he kisses Historia's hand, right? But the feelings and that strong crave and desire for freedom, because he tasted it just once. All of that is implanted into his child body. And so that's what makes him seem like a static character, because that, grown up desire and drive for freedom that he has as a child was implanted from the character at the end of the fucking show into the character we see at the beginning of the show, which just added to the genius of Isayama if he had just gone through with his original ending. So he's kind of static, but kind of not. We watch him progress to the helplessness of, holy shit, like, there really is nothing that can be done. Holy fuck. Like, this paradox of I have to follow this path that my adult grown self showed me when he implanted these memories of the future into me. Like, oh fuck, this comic really reminds me of the movie The Substance. Now, this will be a really quick side tangent, so just bear with me. In The Substance, the girl, takes the youth serum to look beautiful and pretty and young, blah, 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 it backfires. She turns into a fucking monster. Her act of defiance is in her monster form. She goes on live TV and gets looked at by the whole world. That's her act of defiance, because the world is telling women, you have to be beautiful, you have to be young, you have to be pretty, blah, 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 blah. So this monster that comes up on the stage, how dare you get looked at? How dare you be this way and still, get looked at and not feel ashamed? And it's like, fuck you. My existence is defiance of your beauty standards. And it just reminds me of Eren and Historia's child. That child's existence in itself is defiance against the 2,000 years of racism or whatever the fuck that Paradisians had to endure and experience. That child is the antithesis of Ymir. Born free, born from someone shutting all fucking barriers of freedom in life down to provide this first free Eldian with a life, right? Free of all racism, free of the history of blah, blah, blah. You guys know. Whatever. Next bullet point. Peak's death is ass, no matter what you say. Titan, whose power is stamina and being able to transform 100 times, is incredibly smart, died because she suddenly can't transform, and those who say but her body was busy healing herself, that's why you need to check their IQ, because what smart character would willing to come out of her Titan body knowing that she can't transform again, and is in such a very hostile environment that she could have played dead until she was fully healed and can transform. Okay, this is just dumb. We've seen Eren get exhausted to the point where he, can't do shit and goes back to human form. We've seen that. You need the will to transform, and you need to, have the stamina, right? Now, obviously, Peak has more stamina than others, but it's not infinite, right? And the problem with, the way canon is everybody's everything is infinite. There's infinite gas, there's infinite transforming, there's infinite stamina of all the characters. So, yeah, Peak is out there getting her ass kicked. She's wounded. She can't fucking heal if she's bleeding out, okay? She can't just fucking keep transforming a million times until everyone's dead, right? Or else, what's the point of everyone else being there? Since she's so smart and she can transform a million times, she could take care of all the fucking warriors herself then, right? She could take care of Ymir and Eren and all the, mindless titans and the colossals all by herself. Since her power is unlimited and she's so smart and she has all this stamina, right? What does she need everyone else there for? Shut up. there's stakes, and there's limits. That's what makes this shit good. Yeah, maybe it would have made more sense if, like from a stamina point of view, if Reiner couldn't transform anymore and he got hurt real bad, or Annie, who's been in a crystal, couldn't transform anymore and she got hurt real bad. Maybe that would make more sense, but I do feel that the AOTNR team is planning more like poetic justice for those characters, or like more meaningful deaths. This is just the death to get the ball rolling. Like, okay, there's stakes. We saw back in season 1 or 2 that Eren, when he was doing experiments with Hanji, I think that was season 1, he was doing experiments with Hanji. He was able to transform 3 times. Each time the Titan got smaller and less effective. So Peak has stamina, right? So it's not limitless, it's not endless. So maybe as opposed to Eren's 3 and other Titans probable 2, 3, 4, maybe Peak has 7, right? Maybe she has 7 transformations until she can't even transform anymore. Or until her Titan gets smaller and less useful, that boom, she just can't even, transform anymore. That makes absolute sense. So I'm not seeing what you're not getting. Like, at this point, you just want to find something wrong with it. Off-screen defeat of the Colossal made no sense. I guess that's what I mean, colloidal. Because it's impossible to actually defeat him without the perfect situation, which is even more impossible because Bertholdt can't be manipulated by his emotions like he was in the one situation he was able he defeated, talking about season 3 with Armin. What? I think AOTNR took out the part where these are the fucking, Titans of the past, right? Like, this isn't literally Armin, this isn't literally Grisha, this isn't literally Kruger coming to stop the rumbling. These are mindless shifters, mindless Titan shifters with, like, advanced powers. Not mindless, like, Titans, but mindless warriors. This isn't Bert, this isn't, Kruger, this isn't Shaver, who cares? This isn't them. These are mindless Titans doing Ymir and Eren's bidding. Period. That's all. So this comment's null and void. We've talked about this last point so many times on this channel. It's like I feel like I'm getting a fucking ulcer in my stomach right now. 9, Eren killing his friends, which is his number 1 goal. Was to make... Eren killing his friends, which his number 1 goal was to make sure they live long, fulfilled lives, throws his characterization from the entire show away. No. His number 1 goal... First of all, what you're referring to is when he wished that they lived long, happy lives. Never said anything about a fulfilled life, okay? Since we're, cherry-picking, nitpicking, whatever. Secondly... him killing his friends was a wish that he had, and Sasha is one of his friends who died in pursuit of the greater cause, which he literally tells us what the greater cause is: to not leave the people of Paradis's fate. I mean, the people of Paradis's survival up to fate. That is his number 1 goal. His number 2 goal is to end the cycle of hatred. And his wish is... his number 3 goal is to not sacrifice Historia and to not have her passing Titans down her bloodline for the rest of her life, having babies eat each other and whatnot. You could even argue that's his number 1 goal. Honestly, let's keep it a buck. That was his number 1 goal, to not sacrifice Historia. Argue with the manga, not with me. And I just thought we could slam this big fucking hater. That's pretty much it. Like, I feel like the rest of this shit is pretty self-explanatory. We know that Eren's goals were to not leave Paradis's future up to fate. That's why he did the fucking rumbling. So everything else, him not finishing it, that's what doesn't make sense. That's mischaracterization. That's bullshit, right? Him saying he did it to make his friends super duper heroes, we already know why that doesn't make fucking sense, because he didn't know if they would survive. Which is just further proof that his main goal was to not leave Paradis's future up to fate. If he doesn't know that his friends are going to survive, there's no way that his main goal was for them to live long, happy lives. I'm so sorry. Argue with the manga. Anyways, I'm out of here. Bye. I hate this.